My dear 5th grade children, how are you, ma? Are you fine? I hope that you are doing very well. You are very good. Okay, ma. Children, please you stay in your home. So be happy. Oh, okay, fine. Have you had breakfast in the morning? Okay, so let us start to study social science online class. Okay, fine, ma. Okay, now, not now. That last class we have started that history first lesson, that is lesson number 11. The title of the lesson is India's Material Heritage. Okay, am I correct? Okay, ma. Okay, fine. Now we continue this lesson. Okay, ma. Now, so already we learned geography 1 to 5th lesson. Okay, then now we start study history. That first lesson, that is lesson number 11. The title of the lesson is India's Material Heritage. Okay, what is history? Do you know? Yes, history means the study of past events. Okay, ma. The previous class we learned India's material heritage. That is, India's material heritage means we know that India's property is made up of survived things, that is wood, stone, and material. Most of the old events now also survived in condition, that is old things now survive, but some of the earliest things it is not persist, that is destroyed, because it was made of fabrics. Fabrics is a very soft material. Okay, okay, ma. Now we see that India's material heritage is undergoes some of the following ways, that is, first one, archaeologic remains. Second, architecture, sculpture, paintings, books, objects of daily use. What is archaeological remains? That is Harappan cities. Archaeological remains means that is Harappan cities. The development of Harappan cities culture now also remains how. Okay, then architecture, it's included monuments, temples, forts, etc. Then sculpture means that is undergoes statues and carvings. Paintings, what art, that is cave art, other paintings also. And books means that is included holy books and other literature. And objects of daily use, our utensils, musical instrument, prose, etc. So India's material heritage under following subdivisions, that is archaeological remains, architecture, sculpture, paintings, books, objects daily use. Okay, so some of them survived and some was lost. Some survived. Survived means we know that is live in condition. Some was lost. Okay, that is we lost class in the previous class we have learned. So history means that is a thousands of years goes back. Okay, ma. Okay, so now we study that architecture. So we know that India's material heritage is undergoes some following items, that is archaeological remains and included architecture. Now we see that architecture. What is architecture? That is art of designing and constructing buildings. So architecture is India's the past events. The architecture is very developing condition. The people use their intellectual developments expressing their constructions. So we see that architecture. So in the previous class also we have learned architecture means the art of, that is one art. Do you know that art? Okay, the art of designing and constructing buildings. Okay, so architecture, the first example we last class we learned the stupa at Sanji. The stupa at Sanji, that is Gautama Buddha, who lived about 26 centuries ago. So the famous stupa at Sanji we have learned. Then next, the Sun Temple at Konark. The Sun Temple, this the Hindu people believed sun is a god. So this they built Sun Temple. That is sun god. That is in Tamil Surya. Suryan. Okay. So we have learned. Then now we see that the famous India's most famous monument, that is the Taj Mahal at Agra. So this Taj Mahal at Agra, that is very important one. It is very India's most famous monuments. What is monument? Can you remember? Yeah, a monument is a type of structure that was created to a person or event which was become relevant to a social group of a part. Okay, ma? So we see that Taj Mahal in Uttar Pradesh is one of the India's most famous monuments. Taj Mahal in, where it's Taj Mahal in the state of Uttar Pradesh is one of India's most famous monuments. It is a huge building made of white marble and precious stones. It was built by Shah Jahan for memory of his wife Mumtaz. And nearly this Taj Mahal, the age of the Taj Mahal is 400 years old. That means it built before 400 years. It is beautifully decorated. Many decoration, flowers and various designs are made up about 50 different kinds of colored precious stones. Other decorations also carved in this marble. Not only flowers, not only precious stone, most other different decorations are also carved in this marble. This Taj Mahal is surrounded by gardens. There have canals. Canals means to bring water, of water running through them. So it is at the middle canals and surrounded by garden. It is made up of marble and precious stones, different decorations of flowers. It is very one of the important monument in India. It was built before 400 years. Now still in condition. So this is one of the important architectural development. Next we see that Meenakshi temple at Madurai. This is one of the very famous in Tamil Nadu. This famous temple in Tamil Nadu it lies in Madurai. The famous temple in Tamil Nadu is surrounded by open spaces and many assembly halls which have hundreds of beautiful pillars. Now listen here. This Meenakshi Amman temple is very famous monument. Famous temple. Sorry, it is not a monument, it is a famous temple. Where it lies means Tamil Nadu in Madurai. Which have hundred of beautiful pillars. What's some beautiful pillars? That is a single stone. It is used for that is beautifully decorated. It was expanded to its present huge size about 300 years ago. This Meenakshi Amman temple was built nearly 300 years ago. It is this rectangular boundary wall has 4 enormous gateways. This is very important. Here, this Meenakshi Amman temple is famous for boundary wall, rectangular boundary wall with 4 enormous gateways called gopurams. So Meenakshi Amman temple is very important for that gopurams which face the 4 direction. There are over 1,000 of painted sculpture on each gopuram which show gods, goddesses, monsters, animals and so on. This each gopuram, that is rectangular boundary wall and it is enormous gateways and each gopuram has different sculptures. Sculptures means the art of making 2 or 3 dimensional representatives. That is each gopuram which show gods, goddesses, monsters, animals and so on. There are smaller gopurams within the temple complex. This Meenakshi Amman temple complex in Madurai is notice the large and small gopurams, some pillars within the temples. These pillars are helpful to support to the buildings. Each pillars are made up of single stone. At the top of the pillars, some that is called capital, some paintings, designing have. Okay, so importance architecture example: the stupa at Sanji, the Sun Temple at Konark, and the Taj Mahal at Agra. Taj Mahal at Agra, it lies in the North India, but Meenakshi Amman Temple at South India. That is important famous temple. Next we see that sculpture. What is the meaning of a sculpture? Sculpture means the art of making two or three dimensional representative or abstract forms. That is, mainly these rough natural stones are shaped into very controlled removal stone. Rough natural stone was shaped into controlled removed stone. That is a sculpture. This natural stones are changes into different sculptures, that is god, goddess, animals, everything. Okay, so now we see that India's material heritage by sculptures. That is very important. The Pillars of Ashoka. We study that Ashoka was a great emperor, very high emperor, who ruled all over the India. One of the India's best known rulers, Ashoka. Ashoka was a very great emperor. He built very tall pillars put up in many parts of his kingdom. Okay, he built up tall pillars put up in many parts of his kingdom. They were made of single piece of stone. Yes, pillars means what? More pillars in Tamil Nadu, Madurai Meenakshi Amman temple also have so many pillars. These pillars means a tall vertical structure of stone. It's made of wood or metal. Used to say mainly for use of support for a buildings or as a monument. These pillars used for support for a building or any construction or monument. This what's the main use of pillars? Support to the buildings. It is single stone, tall vertical structure of stone. Is made of wood or metal. What's the main important use means? It is support for a building or as a monument. We are made of single piece of stone. The top part called capital. This top part, these pillars at the top part, different structures, different art, that is a capital. Had sculpture of animals. These pillars have inscriptions on ancient Indian writing called Brahmi script. Each pillars have some inscriptions in an ancient Indian writing. This ancient Indian writing is called Brahmi script. Okay, the ancient Indian writing is called Brahmi script. One pillar found, a very important pillar at the period of Ashoka, that is one pillar found where it have, it is Sonor near Varanasi. These pillars had very important one. What structure of these pillars it found in Sarnath near Varanasi, that four lines facing the four directions. So four, one pillar means we know it is sit very tall, vertical. It's made up of stone or wood. At the top of that pillar is called capitals. From this side, so many sculptures, that is god, goddess or animals or have. And important function of this pillar is support to the buildings, support to the monuments, or support to the buildings of the temples. Anyway, it's useful to us. Yes, now one very important pillar found in where its government's important pillar is Sarnath. Where is it Sarnath? It is near Varanasi. That pillars at the top are had four lions facing the four main direction, that is north, south, east, west. So the pillars in Varanasi had four lions facing four directions. This is now India's national emblem. Or India's national emblem also have that four lions facing. Okay, that is our India's national emblem. It is this Ashoka pillar at Varanasi in Bihar with a single lion capital. Okay. Okay, so sculpture means we know that is natural stone was changed into shaped stones, that is a different forms, god, goddess, animals, something. Okay, so the very important sculpture, that example of very important sculpture means, first of all we know that the Pillars of Ashoka. Ashoka was a great emperor, very good rulers. Okay, then second one, other stone sculpture. Yes, sculptures means that is one art of designing construction, only sculpture. That first example of this sculpture is the Pillars of Ashoka. That we know Ashoka was a very great emperor. Okay, ma? So these pillars means very famous pillars is Sarnath near Varanasi in Bihar, had four lions facing the four main direction, north, south, east, west. Okay, then we see that other stone sculptures. That is normally we see in our temples also stone sculptures. India has a rich heritage of stone sculptures. Yeah, India is very famous, not no, very rich in condition of stone sculptures, such as statues of gods. In Hindus, the people worshipped god, goddess. Okay, so like that Buddha was a popular religion in India for several centuries. A large number of beautiful statues of Buddha have been found from different centuries. When Buddha was popular, now listen here, we know that we studied that Gautama Buddha, his followers of Buddha are called Buddhists. Buddha formed a new religion, that is a Buddhism. Okay, yes, now we see that other stone sculptures. That is, India had very plenty of heritage of sculptures, such as statues of God and goddesses of Buddha. A large number of beautiful statues of Buddha have been found from different centuries when Buddhism was very popular. Okay, ma. The next one is that very important one, Chola bronzes. What is Chola? Earlier about the Chola dynasty. Chola dynasty. What is a dynasty? Ruled areas ruled by blood group relationship. They ruled from Tanjavur in Tamil Nadu over 11 centuries ago. During this period, beautiful bronze sculptures were produced in this region. Okay, that is a Chola bronzes. Okay, ma. So, from the history, that first lesson, that is lesson 11, India's material heritage, we studied that some surveyed monuments, famous temples, and architecture. Some example of Stupa at Chanji, Sun Temple at Konark, Taj Mahal at Agra, and Meenakshi Temple at Madurai. And also sculptures. Also we study that Pillars of Ashoka are some sculptures and Chola bronzes. Okay, ma. So I will give some of the questions. You study well. Any doubt means you call me. Okay, ma. Okay, fine. So next class we will see that. Okay, fine. Thank you, ma.